What's good, gamers? With Throne and Liberty right around the corner, I figured now would be a great time to put out a quick FPS guide so you're ready for Throne's global release. While the game looks amazing and can support large-scale fighting, if you don't have the proper settings, you could be having a miserable time. I've been playing on the Korean servers for about 6 months and have had plenty of time to tweak settings to get the best performance possible without sacrificing visual quality. Keep in mind that everyone's PC is different and your performance may vary. I won't be using any third-party programs such as NVIDIA Control Panel or any overclocking, just in-game settings to keep it as simple as possible. So, let's get into the video. First off, go ahead and lock your frame rate limit to whatever your monitor's refresh rate is. I use 144, but for the video, I'll be using no limit. We'll be changing the setting to 60 FPS anytime that we're in large-scale fights such as Arc Boss, Siege, Rift and Boonstones, that type of thing, to minimize stuttering and FPS drops. The next and most important step in increasing your FPS is finding out if you can enable DLSS with your GPU. DLSS in Throne and Liberty is almost mandatory if you want to have a smooth gaming experience. However, on Korea, only 40 series GPUs can enable this setting by default, so 20 and 30 series GPUs have to use an external mod to enable this setting. This mod is from a site called Nexus Mods, and I can confirm it does work, and I used it for my 2080 Ti when I first started playing Korea about 6 months ago. But I myself and many others tried to use this mod on the global Steam beta and we could not get it to work. I actually just upgraded to a 4080 Super just to make sure that I was able to run the game with no issues on global, but hopefully Nexus Mods just makes this a Steam compatible version. I've messed around with the quality settings and it doesn't seem to make a large difference on what you put it on, so I just use balance. Consider turning this to ultra performance for large scale combat. Also, AMD and non-DLSS users can try using AMD FSR2, however I've heard that it blurs the image quality in game and doesn't provide a substantial enough FPS boost to justify it. So keep that in mind. Moving on, we're going to be heading to the quality tab. For both my 2080 Ti and my 4080 Super, I got better overall performance by having the majority of the settings on high as opposed to having them on low like you do in most games. For view distance and character count, your settings can be adjusted based on what type of content you're doing. If you want the most performance possible, then just set these to low. However, in large-scale PvP, you want to see as many enemies as possible, so I would recommend putting this to high or epic. Shadow quality and distant shadow quality can be adjusted based on your PC, but I personally find that high shadow quality and low distant shadows looks and feels great. We're going to be setting textures and anisotropic filtering to ×16. However, you could also change this based on your PC setup. Next up, we have the effect quality, which I would highly recommend not using on low as it can make the game look pretty rough at times and some skill effects just won't show up at all. And finally, vegetation quality, which will give you a massive boost of performance on low in some areas with dense vegetation on the ground. I would just keep this on low all the time. I don't care if the flowers look a little bit better or not. This is going to give you a really good performance boost in some areas. Now, under advanced, we're going to uncheck all 4 of these boxes since all of them are pretty horrible. Level of detail, we're going to put on high, character shadow quality on low, although on high it wasn't really much of a big difference. We're going to be putting lighting quality on high as well as terrain will be on high. And on to our next couple of important settings, volumetric fog and volumetric clouds. Both of these should be set to low unless you really love staring at clouds. Then we have shader preloading, which should be on epic on all systems as this provides a nice stable FPS boost. Changing this setting will require a restart of the game and waiting for the shaders to load again. Go ahead and turn off hair strands, nobody likes those, and turn on optimize large scale combat and DirectX 12. Now that's actually all we have under the graphics tab. We're going to head over to gameplay and then character, and where it says select targets to show skill effects, we're going to put that on show party member animations. That way you're not getting your entire guild's animations, you're not getting every animations. You could also turn this to only show my animations. However, I found that with show party animations, you can see heals, that type of thing. It's very nice. And if you're playing a class that does a lot of hits, such as staff or a crossbow, where you're getting a lot of numbers popping up on your screen very quickly, then turn off the damage floater settings. You could turn both of these off, but I personally just turn off the maximize damage floater. These settings basically just make the numbers when you hit something larger, and then they stay on the screen or float on the screen a little bit longer, which will also cause performance issues if you're blasting off abilities with multiple hits, such as crossbow or staff. Finally, scroll all the way down and turn off show others Amatoi. These are pets that everyone in the game has that pick up loot and heal you, but you don't need to see other people's Amatoys. You don't even need to see your own Amatoi, to be honest. I just like him, he's cute. You're essentially doubling the amount of models the game has to render in by having this setting on, so definitely turn this off. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed the video, and I hope this helps you enjoy Throne and Liberty Global launch that much better without having a ton of FPS issues, that type of thing, which a lot of people seem to run into. Hope you guys have a great day. Make sure you drop a comment if you have any questions, drop a like, and hit that sub button. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.